to touch on, like I said, there's 83 total political parties in America. There's only 19 technically that are considered serious political parties, because anybody, from what I understand, anybody can form a political party. That's why you have 83 of them. It makes it much more difficult once you get involved with the red tape and trying to get your names on ballots all across the country.
Yeah, like in Rhode Island, we have major and minor parties.
Right.
You know who they are.
As I'm sure you've with your party only being a few years old, I'm sure you've been encountering some of the red tape that comes along with being a political party. And
Oh, there's tons of it. And we're active in every state, and every state is different.
right, and that's the part that I find funny is, I mean, I get it because it's about the states, so every state has to be represent differently.
Yeah.
But it's something's got to be done about it, because it's almost impossible to beat that two-party system
Almost.
the way they have it geared right now.
Almost impossible.
I mean, Gary Johnson, like I said, everybody on my Facebook that was military that wasn't voting for Trump, very few of them were supporting Hillary. The rest supported Gary Johnson, and he barely even blipped on the national stage because it's just set up for the two-party system.
And that's how they want it. They work with each other to keep each other in power.
Exactly. This was just one of the reasons why Trump was such a controversial pick, why nobody expected it, because he was basically going against the entire system. I mean,
And to us, that just shows that people are fed up with the two-party system.
Exactly.
They wanted something different. It wouldn't have mattered who it was, I don't think.
right.
You send the right message, and the message gets out, and people believe in you, you're in.
Yeah.
The people have had enough of the two-party system, and we're here to offer real solutions.
My hope is that this election proved to the politicians that the American people don't want to just be told what they want to hear or lied to. They want to be told the truth. They want to be told exactly what has to happen. And they want to be told that the government doesn't run the people run the government.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
A lot of people have forgotten that.
Right. And I'm hoping that with this election, because I voted for Trump, I made it no mystery that that's who I ultimately decided to sponsor myself. That's who I was going to vote for. There's a lot that went into it in my decision. I know a lot of people think I'm just hardline right wing. I'm really not. But I looked at everything, and everything that Hillary Clinton had to stand for, I just couldn't bring myself to accept any of it. So the next best option that I saw was Donald Trump. I voted for him. Do I think he's the best candidate that the Republicans could have put up? Absolutely not. If there was a better candidate that I thought had a legitimate shot at beating Hillary Clinton, I would have voted for them. But you got to take what you get. Now, with your party being so new, hopefully by the next election, we can help grow this into something that's become more mainstream. People know more about it.
Well, that's what we're kind of hoping this year is. It's the time to regroup,
Yep.
rebuild, find our new candidates, because the bigger cycle starts next year.
Right. Yeah, because
With-
that's when
with
you
the
go for
midterms.
Congress, Senate.
Yeah.
Yep.
All the midterms start
state.
coming up,
Yep.
and we want candidates to put in those positions.
All right. So let's go over your party platform, just on a couple of things. I mean, I highlighted a bunch of stuff.
I see that.
There's stuff that I really want to touch on. It just so people understand what the Veterans Party of America stands for. So, one of the things here is we adhere to the proposition that there shall be no state-established church, no single or group of peaceful religion shall be placed above another. I have no qualm against that whatsoever. I actually agree with that. And so did the Founding Fathers.
Right. So it's in there.
On border security, before immigration and national security can be brought into perspective, the borders must be securely sealed with proper crossing points and transit lanes for legal entrance into America. So the Veterans Party of America agrees with the border wall?
No.
Okay.
If we hired the proper amount of security officers, we wouldn't. The wall it's unreasonable.
Yeah.
Who's gonna pay for it? That's their big sticking point. Is who's gonna pay for it? And some people think, oh, it's just a fictitious thing. We have pictures of this supposed wall we have now.
Right.
It doesn't stop anybody.
No.
And if you build that wall, it's gonna put us basically bankrupt the country. And it's not gonna stop anything.
Well, the thing is with the thing with border security is and I think everybody hears the wall, and they think of it metaphorically, like this wall is going to, because when you think of a wall, you think it's going to stop anybody from coming in.
Yeah, that's
We've
what's
had
pushing.
fences there forever,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to understand, these are vast areas that these fences are on. They're like 900 miles right now of
Mhm.
fence that we have. But what they find is Mexicans either climb over the fence or tunnel under the fence.
Right. We have a member who is a border security officer, and
Yeah.
or at least an affiliate, and he's posted pictures of them.
Yeah.
What's your wall going to stop?
Right.
You mean to tell me? My personal opinion is you're telling me the Army Corps of Engineers couldn't build outposts for less money than you're going to build that wall with?
Right. I agree. Listen, I don't personally. I don't care if we build a wall, don't build a wall. I agree with we shouldn't be paying for that wall.
No.
That
Yeah.
I agree with.
And if we enforce the laws that are on the books, you wouldn't need the wall.
Well, that's number one right there. What else? National defense and security. Surprisingly, so it says the security and safety of our country and people is our highest priority.
Mhm.
Surprisingly, it's one of the smaller laid out plans, which I found surprising because it's the Veterans Party of America. So I thought it was going to be, when I saw national defense and security, thought it was going to be this long thing,
No.
but it doesn't need
Doesn't
to be.
need to be, exactly.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, that one sentence, it goes on a little bit, but that one sentence says everything. The security and safety of our country and people is the highest priority,
Mm-hmm.
as it should be.
Exactly.
Okay, so
See, that's the long one right there.
immigration. So the Veterans Party of America's position on immigration is the safety and security of our nation and its citizens. We must secure all borders and international ports, and like we just discussed, doesn't necessarily have to be a wall, but the borders need to be secure. We need to stop people from just being able to walk through.
Exactly.
We must enforce immigration laws by supporting legislation that will provide for border state agencies. So basically, enforce the laws that are already on the books.
Yes.
All illegal and undocumented immigrants must report to local immigration centers and get registered with a firm deadline for compliance. This one I highlighted. I got a question on this. All illegal or undocumented immigrants found trying to illegally enter the United States after the registration deadline is subject to immediate and permanent deportation.
Correct.
So, well, not all of them.
All of what?
All illegal immigrants. All illegal or undocumented immigrants found trying to illegally enter the United States after the registration deadline. What about the ones that came before the registration deadline?
If they registered, see, this was one of the biggest ones that took us the longest time to hash out.
Yep.
Trying to be fair to there are immigrants here that are illegal that are actually being productive in the country.
Yep.
And those, like the rest of the process that's laid out there, is
Yep.
if they register, you're pretty much forgiven for being here, and you must begin the process of becoming a citizen.
Okay.
If you try to get in after that deadline and you don't register, then you're subject to deportation.
Right. And I saw here, no illegal immigrants under this provision will be eligible for permanent status ahead of legal immigrants already engaging in the application process.
Absolutely.
So that made sense to me. I
Yep.
was just wondering why it was not all, and it was just the ones after.
Because if they follow that plan, they've registered that they admit they're here.
Yep.
And we're not going to deport them because that also would bankrupt the country.
Right.
If you try and deport millions of people, imagine the cost of that.
Right.
But the ones that we do deport, like, America does business with every country
Yep.
in the world.
Yep.
And the cost would be deferred by taking off any support we supply to that country.
Okay.
So
Another one here.
It just has to be feasible monetarily for the country as well.
Right. So I guess my only other question off of that before we go on, how do I put this? So no illegal immigrants under this provision should be taking steps ahead of time. So is there going to be like a fine if you got caught here pre all of this?
A fine for being in the country?
Yeah. Not something that was talked about?
I don't
or-
think we covered that, but I think it was just if you registered, you would be forgiven for being here, and
Yep. Well, listen.
we wouldn't pursue legal action against you.
Right. Here's what I suggest. The next national gathering, I'll come in, I'll make some suggestions
here we
for
go.
you. Just as a consultant, free of charge.
I'm sure it would.
On education. It says federal mandates are a violation of the 10th Amendment. Federal mandates involving high-stakes testing, teacher evaluations, including National Common Core state standards, will be done away with. No federal monies will be given to for-profit charter schools for private schools, except in the form of tuition vouchers, allowing parents to have a choice. Furthermore, the Veterans Party of America favors abolishing the Federal Department of Education and returning all education matters to the states, as it should be, in my opinion.
And we agree, obviously.
Right. Moving on. Foreign aid. While it's the best interest of the United States of America to help build and maintain other nations, it is more imperative to take care of our own people first. Foreign aid must be evaluated on a case-by-case basis with justification as to the benefit, if it will benefit our own country, not just another nation. Couldn't agree more. And I think that's one of the big gripes that Americans have with foreign aid is that there's so many problems here that we seemingly put to the wayside
Absolutely.
and spend billions of dollars in foreign aid to other countries at no benefit to ourselves, except for what they tell us is, making friends with all
it's
these
keeping
countries.
the peace for them.
Yeah.
Keeping the people in power.
And the problem that I have with it is all these nations that they do that to, all still do not like the United States.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter what we do. They're not
Meanwhile-
going to like us.
Meanwhile, we have homeless vets sleeping in the streets in the cold.
Exactly.
Children sleeping in the streets. Why?
Yeah.
We're spending billions of dollars to help you out, and we can't take care of our own. Doesn't make sense to me.
It's disgusting. Hey guys, Jason Brady, host of the Brady Report. If you enjoyed this video that you just finished watching, go ahead and do us a favor. Click that subscribe button right down there. Get updates every time we load something. There's a lot more content coming out. We take pride in what we do here. So make sure you click that button. Thanks, guys. Hey, you're not clicking the button. Let's go. Click the button. This way, when we put another video up, you'll be able to check it out. What's the matter with you? Hurry up. Click the button. I don't got all day. Hello? Click the button.